Hi Stitchy friends, happy Wednesday. I hope this uploads on Wednesday. My last video took over 24 hours to upload, so I do apologize, but fingers crossed it'll work today. My name is Chelsea. This is Vermont Stitchy Co. Flosstube. To those of you who are new, welcome. I hope you enjoy. To those of you who are returning, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. So tuck in, get some stitching in your hands, and let's get started. This is Flosstube number 17, and I'm really excited. I have a few things to show you. On the topic of getting it uploaded quickly, I'm going to try and keep my videos to 20 minutes, not too much over, because I don't have a lot to show you right now. I was on break. Last week was the 2 weeks ago was the really big haul that I had. So this week's going to be smaller, so it's going to be hopefully around 20 minutes, not too much more than that. And so let's tuck in. So over the past 2 weeks, I did a few things. I had a sleepover with my cousin. She's 18 years younger than me. I'm not going to give my age, but you can probably guess. And so she's a sophomore in college, and we had a lovely sleepover. We try and do it once or twice in the summer, you know, when she's back from college, and it was a lovely girls' day. She and I are very similar in that we like to vintage shop and antique shop. So we went to this place called the Big Red Barn in Westminster, Vermont. It's kind of a hole in the wall, really cool vintage shop, but also antique shop, but also modern kind of like shop. It's a lot of it seems to be, you know, when people pass away or they just don't like their stuff anymore, they give it or have a little stall within the shop. So it's really cute. A big place, one floor, but it's got a bunch of different sections. A little overwhelming with the amount of stuff that's in there, but it's a great little find. So if you happen to be in the southern Vermont area, go check it out. The Big Red Barn Antique Shop, I think is what it's called. It's really lovely. Lots of parking on a main road, Route 5 North, I believe it's called. Lovely. Go see it if you have a chance. So while we were there, I bought a big bag of fake flowers. I have it here for you, but I just wanted to show it to you. It's massive. It's a very large bag of fake flowers for $10. $10. You know how much this would cost at, you know, one of the bigger stores like a Michael's or even a Hobby. Does Hobby Lobby sell flowers? I don't think Hobby Lobby sells. Oh yes, they do. So this would be really, you know, 200 bucks at a Michael's or a Hobby Lobby, and I got them for that whole bag. There was a second bag too. I was debating whether or not I needed all those flowers. I just took one bag, so if it's there the next time I go in a couple months, then it was meant to be, and I'll get it again. But I like to use flowers for the decorations. For example, let's see. This one is just this is from Michael's, I believe. It was last year at Michael's when they had their Halloween stuff out. Although I went to Michael's the other day, they have fall stuff out already. I was very surprised, and a little bit of Halloween. I was very surprised. But anyways, so this came with a big bundle. But I like to use flowers on my hoops. It's just how I choose to decorate. If you don't like it, that's perfectly fine. You don't have to do it. But I do. And so I got the big bag thinking, okay, well, I've got this Halloween stitch and we're in Christmas in July, so maybe I can find some reds and some whites for Christmas in July. I have a few previous finishes from the summertime. I'll show you one of them, Under the Sea, that I thought maybe some of the blues would be nice to put in this area or down here. I've, in my mind, played around with the idea of hot gluing flowers on the all around. And the wonderful thing about hot glue, if you don't use it, or you don't know how to use it, or you're worried if it's too permanent, actually hot glue is not that permanent. It will hold, it will do the job if it's not tousled, if the thing that you're using is not tousled around a lot, if you don't use it every day, then hot glue is the way to go. And the flowers will pop right off. It's actually really lovely. Be gentle about tearing it off, but it'll pop right off. It'll leave minimal scarring on whatever it is that you're ripping it off of, and then you can replace. So if perhaps, let's say this season I really want purple flowers to match this purple background, I could hot glue them all around or do whatever. And then next season, if I decide, oh, I don't know what I was thinking, purple is not the way to go, that's too much purple, I can just rip them off and then reuse the flowers, because it doesn't damage the plastic on the flowers. They're all fake plastic flowers, and the hot glue doesn't damage it, which is really, really lovely. So that's why I use hot glue, just for things that I'm not going to touch or tossle around a lot. But I got all those beautiful flowers, and I'm super, super excited to use them. I'm going to see how they look on my summer stuff, and again, I'll show you that in a minute. I also want to play around with the idea of putting red and white and or greenery on my Christmas cross stitch, which I'll show you in a minute as well, just to see how it looks. Again, it's not permanent. It'll rip off if I don't like it, either now or in a future season. But I'm super excited about that. So that's like the big haul for the week, is those flowers. You know, it was really a steal, I think. But this is on my Etsy shop right now. I made this for Junoween. It's called Just Ghostly Fun. Just 3 little ghosts dressed up for Halloween. So if you're interested, or you want to take a look at my Etsy shop, it's linked in the description box below. No obligation, but it's there. So that's that. Let me show you the, because we're in Christmas in July, the previous finish I just did for Christmas in July. That little lump right there, that's Tyr. He's enjoying the cooler weather today. I still haven't finished it because I bought these flowers, and I'm working on another Christmas in July, which I'm hoping I'm gonna get done this week, and I will show you my progress in a second. But this is the one I'm going to test with the flowers to see how I like it and to see if it looks okay. So let me show you a close-up. It's a lovely little deer. I love his little earrings. I think they're earrings, I don't know. That's what I just imagine. And then the little birds. I think it's so cute. But so I'm gonna see, because we're doing I did a red and white theme, I'm gonna see if the red and white flowers, maybe just red flowers or maybe just white flowers, will look nice. I haven't decided if I just wanna do one up here or just down here or all the way around, but we'll see. But this is also up on my Etsy shop. If you're interested for Christmas in July, it's really small. I like to do a square around, a square outline. It helps my brain figure out the layout of where the birds and then the subsequent deer needs to go. If you don't like the square outline, you don't have to do it if you choose to buy the pattern. That's the wonderful thing about cross stitch. You can do what makes you happy and what goes with your style. Also, let's say you prefer to have blue and white as your theme for Christmas or the holidays. You can change the red and white to blue and white, green and white, green and red if you are more traditional, green and red and gold. My grandmother used to love green, red and gold themes. So really, it's lovely. It's up to you. You can change whatever you want, and that might be really nice for your decor. So I will show you in 2 weeks the final finish, if I do the flowers or not. We'll see. And then finally, I wanted to show you, we're in summer right now, and I just wanted to remind you I do have summer stitching. So this is the Mer Kitty. on my Etsy shop right now. This is the one I think that blue, because there's a little handle. I think a blue flower might actually look really nice on here. It might stand out nicely against the purple. So I'm gonna try that, let it sit for a few days, look at it. That's what I like to do, let it marinate. So I'll probably glue at least one flower on, let it sit for a few days, let it marinate, see how I like it, and go from there. So we'll see. But again, this is on my Etsy shop, Merkitty. Again, I have the outline. This is for me. When I design it, I need something to go for. I like the square. And when I designed it, I had the idea of putting it on sticky board and having it be a square. And then I changed my mind, obviously. But I like the lines. It doesn't bother me to have them here. If you don't like them, you don't have to stitch them on. You can just start at the bottom or wherever you start. I am a lower left hand starter. That's where I like to start, lower left, which I think would be here if you're watching. And then I move across this way towards the right and then move up. That's how I cross stitch, because I stitch in hand and I have to be very specific on where I start. But yes, so I'll show you that one as well in 2 weeks once I get the flowers on it, if I like them. And now, finally, the piece de resistance, the WIP. That stands for work in progress. Because we're in Christmas in July, I have a Christmas sampler I want to show you. So, I'm still working on it, but I am very close to being done. There is a lot of white. Oh, it does show up. Okay, cool. There is a lot of white. So this is going to repeat on the top in this blank spot. So this goes all the way across the bottom, and that will repeat all the way across the top. So we've got cheer. In this box up here, there will be joy with 2 candy canes, I believe. This, I don't know if you can see, is a little snowman with like cat ears, because I thought it was funny. We've got ornaments, trees, the deer again from that previous one. I minimized the deer here and made it smaller to fit in here. And we've got stockings and then some holly and a coffee mug with steam coming out of it. And then along the sides I have this blue, I don't know, decoration. I'm not sure what to call it. Is it showing up? So it's repeated here, here, and it will repeat across here. Those are the only 3 spots where I changed the colors up and chose blue. If you don't like blue, again, if blue doesn't go with your theme, you can make it red, green, or don't include it at all. It's perfectly fine. If you prefer blue, you can make the cheer blue, joy can be blue, the mug can be blue. Blue and white is your thing. You can change the stockings to be blue. Really, you can do whatever you want. I would suggest, this is on 14 count tea dyed, but I only did 2 tea bags of black tea and left it in for a very short amount of time. So it has a very light kind of cream color look to it. So the white doesn't, it stands out, but not as much as I wanted it to. But you can do it one. I think this would look lovely on black. I have had an adventure with black fabric. It was a couple videos ago. It did not go well. It did not go well. So I don't actually like using black 14 count Aida. I have used gray. I took a 14 count Aida and dyed it gray. I think it's called pearl gray. You can look at that in the last video for the, is it the last video? Yeah, the last video for Junoween. I actually quite like the Rit Dye Gray. I think that's nice. So this would look lovely on Rit Dye Gray if black is not your thing. But I think this would look really cool on black because the white would pop out really nicely. It's just not coming off on the camera as well, but in person it does stand out. I also know about, I've never used it before, but it's called antiquing. There's a spray that you can put on fabric that gives it a darker antique look, which I think this might also benefit from antiquing, but I don't know if it would change the white floss color, which it might not, that might not be bad, or maybe it'll just change the floss color and not the fabric itself because it's already tea-dyed. I'm not sure, but I'm gonna look into that. Kimberly Jolly from Fat Quarter Shop Flosstube has used it before and it looked nice, so I think I might look into it. But I'm very excited about this. Again, I have Joy that I need to fill out here, and then across the top is going to be this runner across the top, and then I'll be done. I don't think I have, oh, and then there's one blue bit that's going to go right here. The blues are a little bit tedious. If I were to do it again, I don't think I would add it in, but it adds a nice break for the eye, and I do like the final effect of it. So yeah, we'll see how this goes, and then when I finish it, I think because it's so large, I'm going to have to add fabric, like a quilt fabric on all 4 sides to be able to put it in a hoop. So it will have this kind of effect. So see, this is actual fabric. It's not cross-stitched down here or up top. So I'll have to do the same thing, but in a Christmas themed fabric, which again, I really like. That's just my personal preference. I actually quite like the fabric when I can use it. But if you don't like it, then you would just, I really cut this to size. I was very intentional with cutting it to size and trying not to overuse the amount of fabric that I have, because I don't have a lot. And so, but I have a lot of quilt fabric that I can use for the sides. So that was a decision, a planned decision that I made. But I'm really excited. I think it's really cute. This is a sampler, meaning there are tiny little well, you don't have to have boxes, but like tiny little different scenes within one cross stitch. That's how I think of samplers. Same thing with quilts. You can make a sampler quilt, or not tiny, but small scenes within a giant quilt, or small different quilt blocks within a quilt. So it gives something for the eye to look at, and for the pattern maker, it makes it fun. It's sometimes, I don't, is anybody else like this? I get a little bit bored if I'm just doing the same thing over and over again. I want some variation. I want something different. I want it to be different, to look different, different colors. I don't know, sometimes I like a little bit of variety. So this is really nice. It is beginner friendly. You just have to follow the pattern. It's really pretty easy. And I think you'll enjoy it. So, okay, we're almost at 20 minutes. I am going to sign off for today. It is a short one, but I hope you enjoyed it. If you like my video, please like and subscribe. It helps me gain more followers, and also helps me get viewed by other people who do like cross-stitching and Flosstube, so that would really be helpful. And if you've already subscribed, again, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I hope you have a great day. Get some stitching in. Enjoy the weather. See you in 2 weeks. Bye.